Hello, welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. Here tonight, we are starting off with some NECC, Alberta versus with the Collegiate Valorant, where we have Boise State obviously going against Alberta, where they're going to be a pretty tough opponent here going into it, and it's actually NECC that we're facing up in tonight. A 4-0 Alberta. That's a pretty deadly number, I'd say so. And as always, I'm your host, Colin McJunkin, and joining me today is Greg Smith, and I got to ask us, how are we feeling going in today's match?
We're feeling pretty solid. I mean, we've been looking pretty good. We definitely have a decent list of our own coming up here as we just won another game last week, and we're feeling kind of comfortable. These numbers are leveling out a little bit, but you're right. Against Alberta in particular, it's been scary, and they're definitely a foe to be reckoned with. So I'm ready to get into this game. I think it'll be super tight, but there's definitely some things we got to keep in mind before we charge right in.
Yeah, no, I definitely think going into it, especially coming off of a LAN as well, because that's the crazy thing that I think about, that that these guys played a LAN which was Saturday, Sunday, and then going into on Monday, playing a very tough team there as well. So they had an entire pretty much 3-day score of really tough teams to play against, and teams that are sort of going to push the envelope a little bit.
No, definitely. I mean, we talk a lot about having momentum within a game and what it means from round to round, but there's a real life, exploration of that as well. When, like you're saying, they just came off of a journey of their own, and now they've got to embark on this epic again. But the game itself is confined to some pretty simple rules. We've got the card right here for you. It's going to be NECC Valorant. We've got all the typicals: fall, winter, and spring seasons. Stage 1-4 is a team round robin. Stage 2 is a 32-team bracket. The top 2 of each season are the only ones to qualify for nationals. So we'd love to take that spot, and right now Alberta would love to take one as well. So let's see who can wedge for it.
Yeah, and ideally, almost going into stage 1, because I believe this is stage 1 going into it. That top 1 team takes it, and then from there you sort of digress. But it sort of becomes sort of and then eventually you get to an LCQ, where that stage 3 ends up becoming a lot of teams that are facing off against it, and it can be deadly. But honestly, our help isn't much to them compared to what we have coming up with this next of Doc's keys to the game, which in Valorant is to focus angles, flank, know your win condition, count cards, count your ability, make sure you got that on track, and of course, as always as it is, click heads, which in Doc's keys to the game are brought to us by Drop-In Gaming. Drop-In Gaming is a online platform for gamers to see competition, play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games or competition for you to begin a competitive journey. Go ahead and sign up at dropingaming.com.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you said it. That's all there is to it right there. There's only so much help we can give, but Doc is back there in their ear. Look at this beautiful little graphic that we got going for you. The Broncos going up against esports. That's the green. The UAESA Esports University of Alberta. I think,
quite the acronym.
Yeah, it's a real acronym. Here are the teams that we've got going for us. A very typical pick from our side with Daimyo all in caps for today. On the Omen, Skies on a typical Jet, which we'd love to see on the 3-site Haven. Rariana with a zone of control, absolutely massive from that Sentinel. Continuing on with Breach, love to play through those walls, especially on a maze-like structure here. And last but not least, the Skies, which as a Skies main, I love seeing come out. And a darn near mirror match on the other side, except for that little initiator switch out for Alberta's team. The green is going to be pulling Sova into the game, which that's just a classic pick. I mean, Sova's been here the whole time, and so has this map. It's pretty figured out. All the spots are taken.
Yeah, and I feel more than anything, it's going to be those subtle things. They both sort of follow the same level of kit when it comes to kind of comes to initiator role. You have Sova who can do a little more damage with the shock darts, and obviously, but they both have essentially a dog with a drone and the actual dog itself. Right. I will find that we probably have a little more healing capability, even though it's not an actual role. But I feel like in clutch situations, it can definitely make the difference going into it.
Jumping right on into the round, we're going to be seeing this from Boise State's perspective exclusive. So Alberta is going to be surprising us just the same. Looks like we've got some action coming out of the smoke here. Daimyo's going to take one through, but Stu and Kahu are doing well to find it. And it's a closeout. Kahu doing excellent. Picks up round 1 with a 3K.
Wow, absolutely just catching on that flank. No flank guard that we saw there. Ooh, getting 3-piece there. But of course, it's only pissed around. It doesn't matter too much. If they end up if they end up getting these next two, it's gonna be pretty dangerous going into it.
Yeah, we can expect Alberta to do well on this second round. What with them already having the pistol advantage and being able to buy up.
Look at the graphic once again. We're going to be jumping right back into it. A little bit of technical issues that you're always going to experience when you come to playing video games. Somebody's, mouse gets flung across the room. It breaks. Oh, well, I guess I have to find a new one. But
it's a heated pistol round. I mean, people start throwing mice when it gets really intense like that. But we're not going to attribute any technical difficulties to the loss of that first round. Well,
no, yeah. I think it could be anything. It could be, I don't know. It could be your mouse pad filling off. But anyway, that's not the entirety of the point of everything. Okay, there we go. It was a quick little fix. Nothing too major. Right into it. A little more of a spread. Just Arcade, you're feeling out A a little bit. A little bit of a jump into Garage.
With a spike in pocket setup, so they'll have to retrieve that later. But this means that if anyone falls down, like Rariana to Kahoo with the Marshall, early second round Marshall, showing us that maybe we've got an opper that's just itching, chomping at the bit, loving to play long range, and seeing that on a jet is scary. But now they were going to walk back, grab it, start making some spaces. Skies takes out Kane, setting up for maybe a plant in the B. Or no, they're going to fly right through, spearheaded by Skies.
Ooh, who had the perfect read. A little bit of a dink. I respect. They're not going to go down just yet, and with no shields, you definitely can't take this Marshall for granted, even if they are super low. We already know who has the ability to take out some heads. And a good little timing with the peak there. It's going to bring the numbers out to equal here, which is exactly what Boise State wants.
It's a beautiful split crossfire, though, and because of it, the damage is able to be found that, Oldham walking on the close angle just absolutely ignores the laws of angle advantage and gets shoulder shot because of it.
Trying to get a timing out of it. Isn't going to get anything out of it, and now at a little bit of a dangerous position here. Sitting at 2-0. This is the first round we get to go into rifles, though. So Alberta down 2, though. They'll more than likely have some people in there that will probably have a little bit more rifles or going for the full save, though. But nevertheless, still going to be a little dangerous. Probably going to be playing a lot more closer angles depending on their buy. Once again, we cannot see it. Really from the perspective of ESU. It's going to give them
right in already seen a little bit of adversity. Stu was posted up, but it's the first kill. Low health on Daimyo here, but he's still finding things. Alden second up onto Kane, play off of that. Now it's smoke in heaven. Spell is through short and the paranoia. Daimyo dumping his kid, and Juka goes crazy to fight 2. There is a heal that's come out, so Daimyo's feeling a little bit more fresh. It's an even 3-3, but now Juka finding another. He's on fire, and he's taken, he drew the short straw this turn and has to be the one to hold up the team. Last time it was a different player, but it seems like they take turns just holding down the fort.
Feeling a little bit. Gonna go in good. The quick rotate over to C. Might see Dino go through Garage, though. No for a fact all 3 of them were on site at one point, so you don't really have to worry about anyone sitting in anywhere. Kajuto could be an issue heading on. Daimyo trying to get a timing, was looking for it, but Juko traded out a rifle for the Sheriff and is going to take Daimyo down. Looking at a 4-piece right now.
It's a tough one because Aldham's the last one on the map, so he has to go where he's comfortable, and that's what's just been scouted out by the downed player. Takes one for free and is going to move back to the site for safety reasons. He doesn't need to see the spike. He just needs to make sure he sees whoever's going for it, but Kahoo is going to find him first. Taking Aldham down with a double swing. We were asking a lot of him to begin with, but now Alberta going to take round 3. A tough one, because usually we see whoever wins the second round doesn't buy up and instead just uses the bonus, is going to try to get as much damage as they can, but knowing that Boise State coming clean off of a buy is going to take the round. That's not what happened here, and we were actually slated to take the round and it didn't happen. So it's Stingers overall, and we're looking for something here.
Yeah, it was also kind of crazy just simply because of the fact that it was such a save round for them, because I believe I did see the Marshal coming out from the Jet and then a Spectre and a Sheriff.
Yep.
But then they ended up being able to free buy and go a little shopping on some of our dead teammates. And now they're at a really good advantageous position in terms of economy. And if they keep this roll on, it's going to be really difficult. I don't think Boise State is stuck into the habit of buy and
buy safe, buy safe.
Buy safe. Yeah.
It's a tough one. That early op coming out, dare I say, aggressive to take one down fast. Boise State after a heal, using up that Sky heal early in the round with the only ult available. Holden pretty low on all else.
I think we're gonna get a full lot of healing from this.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just that off shot right to the foot is a tough one. Daimyo, beautiful, through the wall, finds James to start TPing around, but it's not quick enough and it goes down. It's tough though too, because he was going for the op.
Yeah. And I was really surprised they were feeling that comfortable going a double op there. And I understand, you might be able to take it by surprise. This Omen stuck in this corner piece might be bailed out by the Sova ult. Almost finding Rihanna as well. Rihanna is aware that they're in a pinch situation and is eventually going to go down to Kane.
Absolutely wild that they just had all of their pieces watching each other. I mean, we're able to create this pinch situation to make sure that their man getting the Omen out of the corner was still guarded. It's a beautiful structural tower where everybody is safeguarded by somebody else. And it makes it very difficult for just one or two men alone to take that tower down.
Yeah, 100%. When you're that structured, and especially with the Sova as well, as it didn't get a whole lot of damage, but it forces you to use your movement keys and move around, which is enough distraction for really any player that it can throw you just slightly off the game. And when you get a double swing like that, it can be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, just talk about trigger accuracy. Even if he was, nose to the crosshair and crosshair to the head, there's just some error that comes with you have to wasp. We're going to see this ult finally come out. Make sure to stagger the ult so you don't have jump rounds and dry rounds. It's going to give us some info about where people are in the B zone. Boise State looking to stay solid here and push up slowly all together. That's the lance formation that we've seen in the first couple of rounds. They're trying to look for a similar structure that Alberta's been employing. Keeping one in the back to watch everyone forward. A little bit of a positional just adjustment here going for A. Another nice thing about not coming too hard to a site where we've seen so many tribulations down this row. Coming just rolling down Banana has lost a few good soldiers. So they've got to be careful here. Smoke someone out.
Ooh, but nevertheless, the round. Oh, and Stu finding with the classic is going to get it, and a little mistake on the side of all of us. It is Simon Frasier that we are playing, not Alberta, which is still in the same league of CECC, where they're not at a 4-0 capacity, but they're pretty darn close to it, being a 3-1 team. So they're still very deadly to face up against, and BSU would more than willingly love to take this round. And what is the map choice as well is also Haven being a stronger map for us as well. Simon Frasier showing a lot of versatility, and definitely more than anything, it seems like they're also pretty well practiced and pretty well comfortable on the map of Haven as well. We don't know the other map.
Yeah, we're definitely off to a commanding start so far. And I've seen the map choices, even just on our games recently, make a really big deal. I mean, we had one game where we were just losing terribly on one map, but then took it all the way home on another. So you never know what Simon Frasier's ability is on maps off of this. So if we can just make it out of this BO3 alive, Kahoot, make sure Alden doesn't make it out alive. And it's another rotation to A long. We have not seen a serious C-long push with this op straddling. I mean, if they keep twin opping, then moving through B and getting to A short was our best bet, but you just can't play the same move over and over again.
No, yeah, you simply can't. And if there is a twin op, which I imagine BSU is more than likely predicting that there is, it's going to be really difficult to take the C long fight, because this KJ more than likely has their setup all around C, and they're using this op to lock it down in combination with it. But if you take this fast enough, you might catch them off guard, but you can't catch Crown off as they're going to peek it. Get a little bit of the timing on Skies, honestly. The boot's going to pick up another one. Slowly but surely, Boise State's offense
30 seconds left.
It's falling apart right now.
Here.
Daimyo square up against the smoke, waiting for it to drop.
Cover going out.
Guard J-Bag here as well. Just stacking the smokes, trying to make inch by inch his way down this bowling alley of the site. He's going to take it to a dangerous place just to try to get in a quick plant. The idea is that anybody off to the back left can't see that jump, but it jumps right into anyone on the logs. So it's a real coin flip to us whether you get a free plant or an insta-death, and landed on tails.
Yeah, and even on a buy round as well, you're willing to take that sort of risk, that gamble, Because, you know, yeah, you may get 1 or 2, but realistically, you look at their numbers, what is 1 or 2 going to really do to their economy? If Boise State wants to get back to this round, they're going to have to you're going to have to square up and steal multiple rounds away, and it's more than likely going to have to start on a deco.
Right in. It is a western side attack for the first time this game. Pulling out all the stops, going for a C.
Oh.
Alden caught way off guard. Blue wall shot. The enemy reach. Trying to apply skies. Playing through the smoke. Finds one. Always spray through those smokes. No reason not to.
You should run.
NECC is going to be committed here. We do have the counter one that we could potentially, yes, we do counter with it. Make sure to hold a little bit of counter. We do have, and wow, Juka and this Jet able to kind of combo it. No enemy players this time. J back in this spam through the smoke. You know this Jet's sitting on top of the smoke through garage. Autumn's going to take the peek. Checking it, then Stu does get one down. They end up sticking the plant.
One enemy remaining.
Plus some outros, yeah.
We do get some exit frags, which isn't a horrible thing. They end up taking the round, but I imagine it's always round over kills.
Yep.
More than anything, especially with their economy right now. Yeah, you heard it a little bit, and they do lose op, but guess what? They're probably their Jets more than ever gonna have another one in the hand
absolutely
right now.
Stacked. Right, when they have the money to be twin opping and throwing that to the wind, they can definitely find another one. And it's kind of the balance between, yeah, it's a good setup to get the plant, move out, and let them one at a time go for it, and you take them from a distance that they can't really go and you know, melee check before then going for the defuse. But if they have enough people to just sit on it, you have to be close enough to reply to that. So yeah, you're right. Round over kills. There has to be one standing there. Simon Frasier going into a clean 7 points on the attack, and I wouldn't call this an attack match.
No, not at all. Oh, and the Roaring Thunder is going to be committed as well. Sky's going to pop out a double smoke here just to stay alive. Kane and Juka are going to pick up ones as well. Ooh, the Sky's not going to be able to come around. They're going even so far, and the trades are working out in their favor as they had the numbers right now. Kane's going to get the final pick of it in garage. BSU just not able to get a foothold right now. Trying to get onto site really fast is what it feels like, but they managed to lock it down so well with not only just, honestly what I'm surprised at is the KJ had the assistance by the Omen as well.
Yeah, and that's what really gives it that foothold feel like you're talking about, because as soon as you start losing 1 or 2 players, it's a numbers game. And when they have this kind of support for each other, when Simon Frasier can play together in such structure, you're right, the numbers game is so damaging and you need that foothold. Just taking an early round, nice deliberate couple of kills would be nice, but here, even though we took 1, it was traded off, and it's been messy because we were taking another one, getting very forward with that off, playing way out of his own zone, coloring outside the lines. We've seen an op coming, or sorry, an ult coming in the first couple of seconds, just shooting at those defaults that they keep catching Boise State off on. So Simon Frasier showing that they're getting used to Boise State style of play, and they're playing forward, and they're making it a little bit dangerous.
Yep. And when you have such a setup like they do, where they have the economy and they have the numbers here to do that, where they can dedicate, you know, 2 people to C, 2 people to A, and potentially have a rotation around B, they can create this sort of lockdown feeling where either site you're going to go to, you feel like you're taking a major risk. And risk-reward ratio, it can be difficult to find the manager. And Diamond trying to hunt down this Jet. They know where they are in that top right corner. It's just a question of, are they going to be able to get out of it? More than likely on the peak, they are. We do have a rotation off of A, though. They might be aware. I see no reason why their KJ and Omen wouldn't be off of C.
Wait for these horses to go down, start pre-firing the corners. No reason to play quiet here. They're getting a little bit of a push out. It feels like as soon as there's nobody there, there's utility. Simon Frasier does a good job of having utility ahead of them to let that be the spearhead, to let your utility be the initiator. And so the wave is coming, and they know that it is. And Boise State getting in that last second plant. Now J-Bag watching the spike as Alden tries to get off of it, but this smoke, it's a little bit uncomfortable. He doesn't want to walk it. Daimyo on the close. Hopefully he can get greedy with this one. Already pinging the corner, getting ready for some kind of flash. Plays for it, not quite there, was so close. Oh, we can see it on the slow. Kahoot takes one. J-Bag trying to play it back. Alden going to be the final one to catch it. And yeah, it took 3 people, but that's a win. That's one.
That's one. That's the foothold you need. Well, it hurts definitely a little bit to probably lose 2 there. It definitely hurts, but like you said, it's at this point it is round over kills. It is 100% round over kills because you take these baby steps, and Boise State has managed to kind of hold a half buy sort of mentality or 3/4 buy mentality so far for the past couple rounds, and if we found a way to get in. Right, we found a way to get in. Daimyo getting a really good lurk pick as well. If you keep this momentum going for Simon Frasier stops looking like such a dangerous team.
Yeah, and that structure was there from Boise State as well, like you were saying. Daimyo being off on alert, captured one to the side, and it just did damage, but it was enough to make the game into a 90-degree situation, and that was too much for the last player of SFU. So yeah, let's make this a football. Boise State can't just take one free one. Wow, what a pixel! Daimyo needs just a pixel to work with, and takes a great one. Crown going to retaliate on Disguise here, bringing it down to a 3v4, but 2 different ults are open. Is Disguise ult going to be enough?
2v4 here, more than trade. Simon Frasier, all they need to do is trade here, but we need some frags here. Or so they're going to push out of garage. This could be a read. I wouldn't doubt it if they have somebody sitting in B. Waiting for a lurk pick. We're going to throw a flash. Garage is sitting there already with the trade. Spike is there.
And that's a tough trade, bringing it to a 3v1. And like you said, SF only needs the trade so they can just throw their men assailing at this. But still, they decided instead to take a sneaky, just several pixel pick.
Couldn't even really see it, honestly.
No,
the shot came in so fast, you couldn't even really see it. That was definitely pixel perfectly played by the Simon Frasier Jet. And as we get to away from 2 rounds away from halftime here, it can start feeling very bogged down. And
right,
I feel what can happen to a lot of teams, sort of this mentality of like we're so far down, and we get into the mentality of just going through the steps.
Right.
But I feel more than anything, you need to buck up, and you need to make sure you're doing almost everything perfectly, even if you feel like an op is in your face every round.
No, I totally get that bogged down feeling, especially when you get caught in the loop of buy save. It's oh, here it is. It's an A round, it's a B round, it's an A. But you have to say, this is basically every round for this round. We've got nothing left to lose. We can either lose these next couple rounds badly, or we can we can make some ground. You see Kane and Crown take theirs, and it's down to Skies, just looking to make some damage here onto the 4 remaining players. He's in a tough situation over the Spike being in the middle of A, and it's just not quite there. Juka, again, from the same position we saw last round, takes a clean one.
Round before the switch.
And SF finds themselves in double digits going into the switch.
Yeah, there's actually 2 Simon Frasier players playing that A long cubby there, playing behind double stone. That was really big because that was Ottoman getting a trade, and that was a really big eco frag into the site. But then they have Kane, their breach player, just sitting there as well, and it just feels like everything so far Simon Frasier is done. They've done near perfectly.
Yeah, Boise State's going to need some clinical play here, trying to that info already coming out. Yeah, that's a tough one. We're probably seeing a rotation from SF already, so Boise State's got to play fast if they want to deal with this. Let the... This guy's not even checking these angles, just goes flying in, trusting that his friends have got the other side, the short side. Got a little bit of smoke up on Heaven, but they're already taking their positions for the plant, trying to get out of this ult. Spike gets the plant. That's 300 creds for free. Stu taking one down on a J-back, dying off the corner, hoping this is enough space. Not quite enough. Kahoot checks his angles and finds one on box.
Defender is going to disable the other few, but are not there. The flashes go through, the defuse goes through, and the final round. Rerun it is good for 1, good for 2 in the exit frag, but it all doesn't matter as we're simply 2 rounds away from losing map 1.
It's a tough one, and we can definitely grab a glass of water, do a lap around the track, and bring it together for round 2, but it is looking tough on this map. Boise State has got a rock to roll uphill if they want to find SF on the other half of this map.
I'm a little surprised we did not call for a timeout during there.
That's
it
true.
definitely, you know, I mean, I'm not 100% sure. NECC is definitely a new tournament to me as well.
Right.
But I imagine you're allowed timeouts. So
yeah.
I'm a little curious why timeout was taken, you know, after like the third or fourth round.
Right, when you start to feel the momentum, like take attack pause and shake it out. If nothing else, switch keyboards, put somebody else on the initiator.
Do a little quick roll
Quick
swap. They
roll
won't
swapping.
know.
They'll never know. They'll never know. Rariana take a fast one with the frenzy there, but Kahoo playing it back. It's going to be a high-power pistol round, especially with Dino No getting absolutely timinged. It's a tough one. How long were they standing there waiting for him to press Q? We'll never know. Yuka to find J-Bag. Oh, and it's all on C-side. On the run, Crazy finds 2, and on the reload sees another out the corner of his eye. He's got to work together with the last player alive on Boise State to play against Git.
Ooh, good trades.
Beautifully done.
Finally,
Gonna say to get the foothold. Yeah, so this is a round 1.
Finally able to crack the code a little bit. What wasn't able to do last time, finally able to pick it up a little bit. Going trade for trade, that's never a horrible thing when it comes to pistol either. That's that's exactly probably what you want to do in this situation.
No, you're not trying to stack your ego here. Just the fact you win is all you need. It's round overkills all day, and immediately Boise State's going to find the longest guns they can find on the buy screen here, even opting to
going for the hero.
drain themselves out. Yeah, we got some clever things here. A Guardian, an Ares.
I did see the Ares, and that's for Daimyo. I could definitely, I think,
Vandal
yeah,
and the
Daimyo.
Bulldog. Yeah, Boise State would love to see the same 3-round head start that SFU took last half. If Boise State can make this their foothold, make this their catalyst, and get to above 5 rounds, that's a different momentum game. Rariana just jiggle peeking, just jump peeking along, ready to be the bait. 2 people on A. 2 watching the box. Daimyo, a little bit of a split hold here on the double doors, ready to rotate at a moment's notice.
So deep here right now. They have a little bit of the read. The shorter shots don't land. J-Bag's going to get one as well. J-Bag's going to get 2 before he ends up losing it.
And Sky's playing well around this corner. Is going to make enough damage that Aldom's able to finish it off. And Boise State keeps 4 alive. Just, you know, darn near flawless. If it weren't for the spray fest trying to deal with that shorty who'd made it deep in A short, then Boise State's definitely got a clean second round under their belt, and this makes for nice, long, strong guns if they want to, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a bonus here, playing as they ought, just bonusing up, just buying up their shields.
They're definitely going for a read here. The thing I do want to point out here is Simon Frasier definitely just needs to play a long game here.
Yeah.
Because now they're at a buy stage, and they only need 1 round after this. Theoretically, if you're talking like what should happen.
Whoa! Absolutely ridiculous. Simon Frasier is going to find one, but you're right. Anti-ego was their game, and Boise State knew it, so they played forward. They played so forward, and they wanted to sweep C and through. The gamble was on, and the players were there, but a flash was taken so fast. J-Back to find one anyways amidst the chaos. But it's through the wall. They don't have a lot of options. Catches him on the straight. It's 1v3, but Raria can't hold up.
That is most definitely tough right off the bat. And just want to give a shout out to the Army National Guard is a proud supporter of Boise State Esports. Top players are presented by the Army National Guard, who invites you to take your pressure critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 jobs offering 20K bonus, a degree of choice paid for. The Adam National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out to them at Twitch at iGuard Gaming. Not exactly, you know, probably the way you want that game to go, but it's simply game 1. It's simply game one.
Which it gives a lot of information. I think we garnered a lot about the situation, and SF doesn't know what we look like when we're up ahead. They don't know what we look like when we're on a different map. So we'll take a break. We'll see how things are coming back to map 2.
Yep. And yeah, and I am very curious to see whose map pick that was. I imagine it was Boise State's.
Right.
Because that is such a map that consistently throughout the LAN too, we chose that map as sort of our starting map as our strong suit. So I'm curious to see if that was Simon Frasier's pick or if it was our pick as well.
Right. If it's both of our number 1 picks, but they've dumped 100% of their hours into it, we could take them on a second v second. Yes. But who knows? I mean, and maybe that's still the case, and we picked it anyways. You know, so we, like you said, that's just map 1. That's the touch of gloves, and it really gets into it on the next one.
And I'd be curious if that is their map 1. I'd be curious what our second map is. Because I noticed we played on Lotus twice. last time as well.
Yeah.
Which I love to see a new map come into rotation. I really do like that. And I think I think it's still a map developing effective play styles around it as well. It's getting to that point. You saw it at VCT a little bit, so you see a little bit more strats built around it. But I still think more than anything, it's a map that I feel barely now that Pearl is sort of into a comfortable state where people know, hey, here's some solid default picks, and here's an extreme, here's a very pacifist role to take. So, yeah, I don't think we know for the exact moment, but yeah, I 100% agree with you. It's purely momentum based, and more than anything, the momentum stopped for it's on a standstill right now. And depending upon how Boise State changes their mental state and sort of their attitude towards it, I think will dictate how we sort of take the second map, even if it's not our choice.
Yeah, definitely so.
And yeah, just looking to get right into it, waiting for that second matchup to come around.
Yeah, but I like how you said, you know, we'd love to see Lotus. I mean, it's just visually, it's, you know, it's appealing. I love seeing it. And it's another 3-map, or a 3-site map, right?
Yeah.
Which I feel like is, it has a longer lifetime of a map when you talk about, like, are people comfortable playing on it because they've seen enough, or is something strange going to come out of nowhere? Right? It's trying to solve chess when you haven't solved tic-tac-toe. There's just so many more pieces on the board coming in when it's a map like that. It's very twisty, and you can see it's kind of the way that the devs want the game to be played. Has more of like it's a very fast map, meaning that there's quicker rotations from site to site, which we get a taste of in Haven, and we had a taste of for Split, and it's almost there in Ascent, but not quite. So, which I think that would be our second pick. If we're going to play something, it'd be Ascent again. If that wasn't our pick, then I think they would take Ascent.
I think also the crazy thing is somebody asked me what they think, what I think Lotus is attacker or defensive sided, and I simply just answered it's gun sided.
Yeah.
Whoever honestly has the better aim duel at that moment, it definitely can feel like Lotus is that way, most definitely. But then I do have a question, since we're sort of not really on the topic, but I want to make the topic this way. New agent. Gecko, we had this talk, I believe, when Fade came out.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I got to talk to you about Fade coming out. So because I don't get to cast with you all the time,
right?
I want to hear your opinion, sort of live on desk, as you can sort of say.
Yeah, that would be very live. I honestly haven't done my research. I love letting things cool off before I dive into it. Tell me what you think.
I think it's definitely an interesting character. I think the Molly looks really strong. The Molly looks really strong. Like some of the lineups I've seen on Ascent so far are like you can cover all of Jenny, you can cover some of Hell and most of Double. You have some crazy lineups for B-side as well.
Right.
Able to cover out all of Triple. It's kind of insane. The Flash seems okay to me.
Right.
It definitely it feels like a combination between they tried to involve a more projectile-based Flash like Reyna's, but make it also sort of interesting, which it is cool. I think it adds an interesting effect to it, but Wingman is by far the coolest part of it.
Okay.
I think definitely have the ability to plant the spike, and I think planting is okay.
Right.
I think the bigger part is defusing.
Yeah.
I think not having to position yourself on the spike, defusing, and even so, like, I can just throw it, worry about Wingman doing it, and I can focus on covering my angles. I don't necessarily have to half fake, keep going, or sort of play mind games there. And it opens a lot more doors for mind games as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I see some of the agents being like, they have a gimmick. They have something that kind of becomes of them, and they're not looking to be necessarily like, I mean, they want to be a balanced character, but do you see this agent having the same thing where you think that, you know, that Molly is going to be nerfed back down and everything's going to be equal? Or do you think they're just going to play it off the character like Neon, where they're like, yeah, she's really fast, and yeah, she has the fast lane, but that's what it's about. Like, yeah, you can bounce the shock dart around and, like, you know, I mean, people don't use it that much, but that's not the idea. So do you see this being like a balanced character, or do you see it being like a one trick play?
I definitely think the Molly is really deadly simply because if you do get caught in it lacking and you're not aware of it, you can die almost instantly to it. So I think in that regard, they probably will nerf it to where you probably won't die instantly. But I don't think they'll nerf the radius. They might nerf the activation time it has. They might nerf it to where it puts you really low. If anything, I was expecting more of an effect. I thought, like, if you get caught in the effect, sort of like Fade's Decay, I thought it'd be an effective that way. But I guess they didn't want to be too repetitive with their character abilities. I think the ultimate's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I think the ultimate is absolutely insane. The fact that it's essentially the lockdown in a confined space, and it's AoE and not direct contact, I find that insane because I think if you pros are gonna find a way to coordinate with that, and with that ultimate, it almost guarantees you a number advantage at that point.
Yeah.
Because if you're able to round that corner quickly, if you're able to flash, take that person out of the game, and then just get this like instant easy like, oh, you're out of the game. Because even if you do flash somebody, you have the chance they played anti-flash, they dodged it, or they're just gonna spam your head to death.
Yeah.
But now it's sort of like you don't have a chance to counter. It's over. So you were right. You were right. Getting into the main stake of things, it was a sin. We just don't know if it was ours or.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not going to know until we really get into it. And unfortunately, we're not going to have any new characters on the board. We see a very similar rollout and a very typical rollout as of this map for Boise State. And we see, and like oftentimes we see really good teams playing against each other. We see a mirror matchup here. Very, very small differences in, I'm sure, the play style of each of these characters that we're going to really have highlighted now that we can see a mirror matchup. But Boise State and SFU are both going to be boasting the KO, the KJ, Sova, and of course the duelist you can never give up that will never be anything other than the cover girl. Yep, it's Jet. Already some action in the middle here. Cade going forward, playing that CSGO role, just playing melee with that ghost. And taking the ground, Daimyo giving up space, staying strong, knowing that the numbers game is there, and if he plays too far forward, Boise State just can't find it. Now the backup is here, and he's ready to push in a little bit more. Gonna break this flawless. Simon Frasier has all the free fire, beautiful, knows his angles, and is playing through where he can. Letting Omen set up some smokes. They start making their way downtown. Gonna make it across heaven, and we know that in hell now, someone ready to shoot a Paranoia, and Juka playing off, charging in. Rariana can't quite find placement. That's Stu, and it's a flawless round one. Not looking good.
Juka is playing really fast off that line. I'm curious as to where they were, because when we initially peeked at, maybe they're crouching underneath hell, and they reacted really fast off that. But even that seemed really fast for what it was. But nevertheless, Simon Frasier's going to get a flawless on there, and you know, they are at match point here, so they do still have, you know, on a technicality, 11 more rounds to go if it remains unbroken, and if Boise State's not able to find a foothold, but you never really know. It's only round one. We've got to see the rest of the game for it to Guys are going to be able to get out of there just before the KO knife suppresses.
Yeah. Suppress is now off, and they weren't able to capitalize on it. SF did get some damage out though, and it's a strange situation. We see these KJs played kind of almost as the spearhead of the pack, where their utility is used to check things out, right? Because it's usually the Sentinel is there for once you own a space, really locking it down. But what they're doing is being aggressive about it and locking down a space they don't exactly own yet, and making sure that Boise State can't push onto it. And that's exactly how Skies, the main duelist, lost half the health on a retreat. Was playing into a turret, which you don't, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, by I think dev standards in development, they didn't expect to play that.
No,
so we see Simon Frasier playing kind of cutting edge setups here. The only come from studying Kahoo playing fast. Jet finds Skies in a Jet v Jet loss for Stu with a whole lot of extra hits on J-Bag earlier in the round. Takes him down. Simon Frasier still retaining their badge. Oh, not anymore. Aldum finds one before going down to Stu. So they lose their flawless. Now Rariana playing solo up on heaven, looking for something here, waiting for this to go down, watching the angles.
Hoping for somebody to get antsy and hopefully push into this smoke. Not knowing there's a classic and a right click waiting, but Stu, ever so vigilant, is going to wait out that smoke and get Rariana as soon as they found a knocked position. Simon Frasier now is sitting in a rather comfortable position right now. They're sort of, hey, we're just going to do our damage round. We're going to do what we can, and you know, if it shakes out the way it worked out for them last map as well, they're going to put themselves in a very advantageous position. But you know, on the account that they've hit A twice now, are they going to hit a third time? Are they going to hit B? Or are they going to split down middle? Honestly, if I'd make a call, I'd split middle and split B.
Some quick checks onto A, as well as a little knife trade going on, and wow, the entire pack was caught. So I'm surprised they didn't call for an instant rotate, as it looks like they're doubling down and playing forward onto this place, even though they've already been found out by a beautiful knife shot for RKO. This guy's dashing all the way into that corner.
Making sure they are locked
Flush
into that spot. There's no way Nobody would check that. They're trying to get the audio cue. And we do have it sort of on lockdown here. Daimyo is going to play either A, you notice the sight lines we hold right now. We are going to know whether or not we do see the pings that we hear footsteps over by B. The knife's just going to make sure nobody's there. We do see one person there.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about, you know, dumping that knife the first 5 seconds is that you can go back for a little final check later on. It's going to be another 45 until we get that knife back again. Still getting twice in the round, Ariana.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, a beautiful one done by Sky's
There it
Ariana
is.
finding another one. Off the site, no eye contact, finding it with the turrets and such. Beautiful play there, Boise State to find a round. Admittedly, that is the round, you know, that they're slated to win. But it's just good to see that coming through, and Simon Frasier was able to take those other pistol rounds earlier on in map 1 so cleanly, and we honestly didn't make very much damage during the last round, during their bonus, right? Only taking one down, so it's good to see this coming back.
Getting the setup on it now. Not a free fight, but nevertheless, honestly, Descent was one of those maps where if you're not careful about it, definitely can feel like 3 maps with time to get taken from the angle you're not really expecting. Dart's going to be center towards mid. So is Knife as well. It is going to find Daimyo. They get a little information from it. Oddman's debating whether to commit the drone here or not. Art quit with a shorty as well. I love to see it. A little bit of half buy, gets information. Somebody's in mid, and Daimyo finally pixel peek. Once again, their Sky's finding a little bit more info. Now we get the kill though, however. Jump spot gets fired again.
We saw RKO decide to hold back, and people kind of held back on A, waiting for a loud play on A. And then after it wasn't there, they threw the knife anyways and checked for a quiet play on A. It looks like Boise State's realizing that Simon Frasier kind of tells what they're getting into and is relying on their brute force capabilities to find these kills. So now, playing a little bit more tricky. And do find Skies, but Daimyo to hush the push on to B, as we know it's going to be there. And we've let KJ's utility set up A. It's going to be a backside rotate around. Looking to watch B. Only the skinny angles. Mariana.
The other KO knife was committed deep into our A spawn as well.
30
if you
seconds
see that on
left.
the minimap. So this KO completely left the mid presence that is here, and actually the Uto goes off, the alarm bot's triggered. They've taken tree. They're into main right now. If you have a second, Ollie sit on plant. It's committed. Hopefully delay it or force it into a more awkward position to plant. They're down to 12 seconds here. The flash goes out, and then on the pop, gonna get crowned. It's down to no. Kane stuck there. The knife goes out there, hoping to get this suppressed. Kane's able to get one. Stu's able to get a second. Kane! Wow!
Wow, just absolute timing. I mean, that was such a trickle. It was interesting that Rariana didn't play immediately after dodging the paranoia to take, you know, take advantage of the fact that he wasn't hit by the paranoia. But decides to wait it off anyways and catches the Omen off guard. That was great. But then Kane just took one after another, backed a little bit by Stu there, and just finds it anyways.
No, those hero plays, exactly what you're talking about with Kane. Those hero plays have to be made if you wanna win close rounds like that. Yeah. If you don't, it's either trade for trade with teams, or it's somebody's making hero plays. And it looks like an aggressive sort of push up into A main. A beautiful KO flash from Simon Frasier's gonna force us to completely back off.
As tough as that last round makes me feel like the coordinated play is down because of this bogs down feeling that we're getting from map 1. And without being able to synchronize play, I mean, a 2-person pinch onto Kane would have been the end of a round, and we'd be looking at a 2-2, which is doable. We'll take a 2-2.
Oh, yeah.
But instead that wasn't there, and it was a trickle effect, and Kane instead is now cred rich and took another round. So I wonder how much Boise State is talking back there.
Yeah. Take multiple 1v1s. Definitely don't want to allow. The Marshal was finding Alderman. The paranoia is going to blind him for a little bit. Does still have drone here. Door's going to close. Looking for Hicks and Feetsy. Not going to be able to find it. Going to break the door and commit Dart as well. He destroyed. The 3v4 here. Not completely out of the cards, but when they have guns like this, he's going to find one on Alderman. Great.
I mean, and Alden fought for so long. He really had to fight against the paranoia and the blind and the door shutting, and then people playing the Marshal through his smoke. So he did well to hold that for a while and make that 1v1 into a trade later on. For that, you know, we applaud him, bringing it down to a 3. Daimyo looking to take care of something still, but it's not quite enough. Rariana can't quite place it, and Crown and Duke could finish it off, bringing it up to 4 points.
Pretty well myself.
And look at that ult economy too. We know Simon Frasier, when they're comfortable, will dump ults early in the round to get some, you know, gimmicky kills. You gotta be careful not to play too default as soon as Simon Frasier has the ultimate advantage.
And yeah, I imagine that depending on how the Omen wants to play it, they could potentially technically use their ultimate. I do see Skies busting out the operator. I do like to see that, seeing a little more getting a little more comfortable with how they're going to play things, going for the mid peak as well.
And what we really love to see is this combo, this clue setup, the weapon. Ooh, here's going to be Sova. There it is. Sova on B on Ascent with this monster. This place is walled non-stop with all those lights up. But still, minimal eye contact. We have not seen a lot of damage either side. Boise State kind of like easing off the gas in space. Run looking for some kills, but just can't place it. Skies gets a beautiful op shot though onto Juka.
You know, I would not be surprised if we didn't see the Sova playing for post plant as well. A double flash is going to find J-Bag's eyes and take them completely out of it. Daimyo sitting in Boathouse right now, trying to find something, going to take a fight into catwalk here, just finding things, spraying the angles, trying to get anybody that's sitting in that common little area. The knife is going to find Daimyo, suppress him for a little bit. Luckily, they don't get a smoke before it out, and yeah, you just don't have time to get onto the bomb here. Probably trying to get an exit trade on somebody that's trying to get their way out of there.
A last second just fly bullet is going to find him, but to get off the map, and Boise State has nothing to show for it but an op and a couple of kills. And it's tricky there because he's just J-chilling in Boathouse looking for someone to knock on his door, but it's never there, and they just absolutely vibe on the mud, letting it count down and almost make it out of there alive if it weren't for the incredible 180 no-scopes that Daimyo pulls to get some exit frags before going down.
And once you get knife there, it becomes even harder then, because now they know you're sort of there. And while Daimyo didn't have like a whole lot of abilities that would change how he takes a fight, but it's more or less the fact they still know somebody's there. And if you're not immediately peeking off that knife, they're guessing you're either stairs or boat, and from there it just becomes incredibly more difficult.
Boise State on the buy save situation, deciding to go for the most disrespectful save that they can find. Sky is slow walking with the op. It's a scary situation. You don't want to be caught by the shoulder there, but everybody else is holding onto a Sheriff. Brilliant. They're going to be trying to hold this one from a distance if they can. All of them getting as far from the point as he can in that direction. As FF undoubtedly is moving on to B. Rotate, but Boise State looking to get some flank out. It's okay to lose the man in back. They're closing in from the front.
Spike planted.
Guys, trying to find anybody that's lurking out here, still in main. In the danger angle, honestly, there's that little cubby right up the stairs that you're not able to find a complete sightline on. Raviana might be able to clear it. Wait a little bit here. Plant is down though, trying to find the shoulder angle to get a pick on it. He's going to find anything. Oh, Raviana finds the stew, but he's able to get the pick. Now they have a lot of control on front, and Simon Frasier is locked into this side.
Unreal.
Remaining.
A great classic ult shot. Gets some head there. Oh, but it's so close now. Boise State, KJ and Juka just took one, but it's a melee to end the round, and Rariana just has to jump in to the... Oh, I don't think that's it. What timing. Rariana go down to... Basically went down to Juka's alarm bot there.
Yeah,
To pause out.
and those swarm nades honestly blocked out a lot of the sound as well. I didn't really think.
No.
I feel like I couldn't even hear the bomb.
I didn't think they were that low on time until it was on, but lost by probably a whole second there.
Careful.
Interesting. It looks like Skies is banking on the knives this round after they just clearly saved, and now they've got all shields up save for Aldum, and they're just packing in a shorty. So I'd love to see some dynamic jet play here.
Wow. Adding that second little bounce there. Knife's going to be committed. They're a little bit more the kitchen marking side of B. Some smokes are going to go down. Oh, and Skies right click, but isn't able to find the RNG click either. However, still 4-4, still even numbers as well. J-Bag and Daimyo still taking this fight in mid. Able to find the pick though, and they know one more is in the back sight. Molly is going to push J-Bag out as well. Not able to pick up the kill, but it doesn't matter because Rihanna is going to pick up 3 this round.
Yeah, what a shutdown. People playing well in this zone here. And I mean, I think a lot of it is just information capitalizing. Like, after we had that alt fire go wrong in the middle, that was the catalyst to play off of it, and they didn't let that just be, oh, well, we lost a player and now we're down. They kept playing off of the contact, and they, you know, took the pace of the game into their own hands and found a second point. A second point is still just 0.2 against 6. Again, they've got to make this their foothold, so it's another up by getting the off out to the, you know, that knife player who didn't have anything last round.
The only thing, yeah, knives are committed. They also have lockdown. They also have Hunter's Fury. We have the equal amount of that as well. We also have a KO ult that can stop. Okay, this could be a fake. Oh, Rihanna finding an absolute dime of a shot on the Guru. Not able to get it. Doesn't even get pinged by the drone as well. Gonna hide behind the blocks. The alarm bot is gonna be deactivated due to spacing. Oh no!
Oh, an uncomfortable spot to be caught in the reading dart there. He's going to find 2 and Crown as well, and neither of them through that info dart. J-Bag coming out as the last bastion, not quite going to find it now. It's all up to all of them. He's got 1 in hell, 2 behind Jenny, and 1 somewhere else. But it's not enough, but the pinch is all it takes, and though all of them takes 1 in the grave with him. 3 left alive, finds Simon Frasier's 0.7.
A really good timing by Simon Frasier as well to use that flash, because immediately as that flash went off, it wasn't the KO that peaked, it was the Omen that peaked, as well as the KJ that peaked as well. So really good time by them. Even with such a lead and such a commanding force as well, they still managed to execute these timed plays, which is a key story to tell for a lot of quality games.
It is, yeah, no, it's critical. I mean, the timing is all there is to it. Once you get high enough up into the Pro League, 5 guns isn't enough to play against 5 guns. You have to have them coming together as one big monster. 2 hostile agents detected and suppressed. Oh, J-Bag tries to play tricky with it, but there's only so fast you can move out of the corner, and that's been calculated. He gets caught. Daimyo with the Marshall. Hanging out in mid, being the foreman of the group. As Boise State closes in behind him, but the spike is already down and counting. SF has got their sight on lockdown. And a marking shot just pre-firing some corners does provide a good distraction to give Rariana a free one. All the info's out now, and they've got to close in on the situation fast, coming in through tree as well as through the front. No eyes so far, 1 in hell, but the clock is low. Gotta play onto it. Skies finds one.
Shock dart lamps as well, and once they get the information on their KJ dying as well, they kind of understand. All right, probably everybody's pushing out from the flank, so we don't need to really worry about this. We're gonna swap roles. Weirdly enough, the turntables turn, and you're gonna be attacking from there, and we're gonna be defending from hell and heaven. So. That's an extremely difficult situation to play off of, but still finding the 2, I think they got that round, and a save round. It's value that they got.
I am everywhere.
Here.
Daimyo readying the pre-round. He's already got the pings out. Ooh, a lot of footstep coming from a rotation out as Daimyo's left the only one on B side. Something telling him it's going to be a lot of pressure on the mid and A, and sure enough, Rariana already feeling the smoke. Spider side, alarm bot triggered. How to react to this? Big push, all of them trying to play with it. Just set some holes in the lineup back there, sent people running in skies, looking to catch those on the retreat. SF now down a player because of it. And Boise State health bar looking full. It is a nice, quiet, meticulous style defense here. But it's not passive. Rariana going to make a trade. J-Bag territory will find 2 for free. It feels a different team. This is so clean. No tack pause, no timeout, no break. Things different from J-Bag.
Able to pick up the third. Able to close it out. Yeah, that swing there. I talked about hero plays on the side of Simon Frasier. There's also a hero play coming out from our own KO as well. Picking up the 3 there, getting that flash play, getting those 2 right there absolutely shuts that down as well. As long as Rihanna getting the frag out before the death as well. Just once again, the timing on this team is really good as well, because they both peaked that angle at the same time. So
It is. It's a tough one. It's a good thing that J-Bag is there to be the anchor of the relay and really shut down any serious push onto this map. And he did well dealing with 2 at a time, too. But it's going to be the enemy KO now, getting in that ult. Sunset here. Simon Frazier throwing in another ult. It could be anywhere. Watch out. Skies to take 2 though. It's a good start. Can they hold that ahead?
Over the fence.
Spike planted.
Sky's going to entry onto there, taking a little bit of space, taking Boathouse, clearing the danger angles. Wow, and almost near perfect timing on the Hunter's Fury and the Killjoy lockdown, but it wasn't used to take it out. And they're going to snap through these boxes. They're not going to find anything. Kane is going to be able to get the classic right click. Now it's just up to the Sova here, who's more than likely in main. But don't worry, we got that part locked down as well. Plan's going to be diffused, and at the end of the half, Boyd State's going to bring it back a little bit, inch by inch, round by round, at a 4-8 at the swap.
And I'm glad we got to see a lot of Sky's perspective on that after it was a scramble for some pre-fire. You see some, and as you see one, you see a second. And what do you do with this info? You know, keeps drilling away at the one that's already damaged down, trying to jiggle out the other one out of sight lines. When it gets heated, he knows a lot weighs on him, being at least the distraction while the other 2 rotate around. Commits the knives and doesn't even get the kill off of it. But it's all how it is. You can't be playing for yourself. You can't be playing for your own util and ults. And he was there to be the distraction and be the other arm, be the thumb of the pinch.
Being the last round as well probably helped influence that knife decision as well. It's like, yes, last round might as well use them.
Right.
Feeling a little more confident with the knife perhaps than the rifle. The immediate info grab. Somebody's sitting B main, not an unusual thing. Very common thing to see here. Skies playing a little bit of mid info along with Aldman. Bomb is not on anybody's right now, so a little bit of default. Find the spot to attack from. Now you've got some info. There's at least a KJ and the Jet there.
Orion playing onto that gets a beautiful dink before going down to Kahoo. Now Kahoo is known to have a frenzy in B&B main, so the spike is grabbed and it is being run. Sky's making the way through the tree. He's going to do it briskly. Does not want to risk time up near the glass. Try to take one out of Jenny, but the ults are the utilities are through and Crown will want to take it down. It's only trade that Daimyo playing melee is going to find another trade.
Reloading.
Sorry, J-Bad was the one playing that forward. Daimyo stays a little bit more casual, goes back up. Oh, what a fly shot that Alden finds, and it's a re-rotate as they go back to B. Because they've already made eye contact with both players on the other side. Gonna watch those rotation points.
30 seconds left.
Really good job by those 2 as well, taking the fight together. Not as easy as Daimyo getting the lurk pick, gonna even out the numbers a little bit, put the favor in Boyd State's position even more. Drones can be committed as well. Doors locked down, so they're gonna know if anything comes to market. This drone is gonna find anything. If it's there, it's not. And Daimyo not being dead on the backside of that lets them know they're not there. Dart's gonna be committed. Is there timing peak? On Cat.
Yeah, Alden's committed everything to this. He's put the spike in a strange location.
Last player standing.
Ooh. No.
Wow. What a play. I wonder if
I think on the dart, Kane actually moved back into garage, though we thought that he didn't. We thought that he moved out because he was able to shoot the dart, and then it was expected that he was in mud and he was waiting for the ping noise, but he got both of them with the backs turned. What a play by Kane. I don't know how he got to that dart if he was in garage, and I guess that's not what he was expecting either.
It could have been a thing as well as they're on Cat and then simply waited that out. Waited that out or either gotten into mud and then jumped out from mud back onto Cat.
Yeah, I would love to see some replay of that if we have it.
Yeah.
That was a tough round to let go because, like you said, I mean, a lot was really invested into that final stand there. And Kane was able to hold it down, bringing us to a 9-4.
5 rounds, looking to get fast game. Cheeky picks, gonna force a little bit of damage, taking the KJ. Molly goes down. Oh! All these players here. Oh, able to get the double trade there. There is one more smoke though, we know that as well.
Wow, Simon Frazier playing a very backseat defense there. It's not usually what we expected them, but they did not respond to all the rushing and dashing in over the util, and instead let the 2v1 be peeked onto from the mud. And did it go well for them? You can't say for sure. It's now down to a 2v2. Try to throw a paranoia, but it's not quite there. Alden getting a better position for it. Placing in, he finds so many shots to the body, but it's not quite enough. That might be all the damage he needs, so Boise State knows that Rariana, playing against his last player, absolutely on top of it, might be there, and there it is, all the reflex that is needed to get a final body shot and close things out with the stinger.
Okay, we know the drill.
Somebody giving that damage all it takes. That Omen also point out sort of the Ferrari peak as well. That was
Right.
that was a very fast
Dry,
peak.
yeah.
They winded that one up. They took the 2 steps back and then went the other way. They use that TikTok flick that they had there. Yeah. That was an absolute. Maybe not as fast as I thought it initially was, but still a very wide peak.
Yeah, very wide, very dry, nothing else to run. And we see it again here. He does have the smoke up, but there's so much on the line and you're so low health. Right, when they start penciling your health in red, you've got to take your peaks a little bit slower, away from the smoke to really pop up. But Crown's going to go down because of it, and Rariana to capture that 5 and 9.
Spike down A.
Being able to find one. Yeah, or I believe it's able to find one. They're not going down yet. Being planted for a little bit of hell. Backside, a lot of damage from Juka right there on Daimyo. Daimyo's going to go and trade out the rifle. Realize that Boogiana has the better health advantage. Probably gets a lot more value out of using real close. Stu getting a classic kill on Daimyo. That's understandable. At 20 HP, it's crossfire on hell. I'll go find expand damage.
One enemy remaining.
Crossfire's not going to get very much. Oh, wow. I was going to say when that blind comes out, but just on the recovery, Kane's caught in the middle of the site, goes down to J-Bag. Boise State was 1.5 players alive, bringing in the 6th point. That's a nice score.
That was really well played by them as well, because actually, yeah, we do. I don't think we didn't see it, but I don't think Skies gets blinded by this. Like, I don't think they get entirely, maybe partial blind, but I don't think they get hard blinded like J-Bag does, because Skies is able to pick up 2 off of this.
Right here.
That's true. That's true.
So I think that was a really good crossfire that was committed there.
Yeah, and it's difficult to have that where they're watching each other, they're watching the same zone, but not enough that a blind destroys both of them. So good technical play there, picks him up a free 3 kills, and that closes out a round. And this difference, though Simon Frazier's ahead, Boise State's feeling a lot more comfortable here. And it could be because this is their map pick.
Take flight.
It could be.
I mean, because we haven't seen any wacky situations with guns or with agents. It's been a slow and steady, one for you, one for me.
We were in the process of getting it ready for a big event.
have
Now we're in the process of getting it ready for another
line.
big event. We're going to hold the high school state championships here in early May. We're going to hold the Mountain West championship.
Knives are out right now inside of Simon Frazier, which could be dangerous.
But this,
Dart?
use your imagination.
Dart committed to the site or back?
It looks like it's head. I think some of the abstract. Wow, J-Back getting the aerial shot on Juka. That's an achievement. Boise State living with 4.5 players here in instant dives. And an onslaught coming in. Brown gonna go down and Kane fast with it. No, Kane finds Rariana first. J-Back, Bob, sight denial in, but the smoke is already there. And Kane keeps going around the mountain. There he is, the knives. Their head out to J-Back. Require just enough to stave him off. He's not taking damage, but man, he's not really placing it. All you have to do is get a hold of that spike, but one at a time. He just keeps taking this guy's body down.
Walk straight down the hallway right there.
Fourth one cannot keep the ace. And J-Bag with the clutch. I would argue the second round going to J-Bag here at the 7-9.
Yeah, the second time that we've seen J-Bag really kind of come out and do the extra amount, really pull the extra amount off, which is so critical for a lot of these things. And the Skies, or not Skies, the Jet used the last bit of knife, and then KO ulti comes out. They really wanted to make sure they had this round, and I'd be really curious. I can't really see it in the pip right now, but I do believe that's not good numbers that I'm seeing on the side for the Eco. So it might be a little tough, so they really wanted that round, and you know, on the side of Boise State, did a really good job with J-Bag clutching it up.
Yeah, J-Bag's so comfortable, so strong, an anchor on the defense. I'm honestly surprised that he kind of plays the, the initiator role, and a very dry, I would call, initiator at that, with a very CS:GO style play here. Whoa, making a little bit of eye contact there, but is able to recover from having the empty hands at that contact. Finds Kane playing very fast on his B. And if nothing else, that's just information for SF. So Boise State decides that they haven't committed too much and goes to the rotate, so they have a fair game somewhere else and take a clean 5v3 here, save for a little damage onto the KJ.
Wow, absolutely nothing mid. I was fully expecting something. Okay, just as I say that, a little bit of timing. Somebody got to go to peek mid. Sheriff. Guy's going to dash in, clears the right angles, finds the pick. Amazing use of their ability to clear the angles.
Here.
Yeah, a gorgeous alt fire on the knives that we've been waiting for all night. Aldum now hanging out in the default spot for the hit. A good flick for it, as well as a crossfire going to come in. Sky's taking on the Juga.
Hasn't been found out yet. Probably a little bit on the radar. Probably a little bit of question mark that's left there. And yeah, his bomb just slowly ticks down. They realize we don't need to play site anymore. Not need to risk it. The Silva might be saving at the end of the day anyway. The knife is going to confirm it or not. Yeah, they could have bounced out, but there's not enough time. The Silva's probably saving what they can. And Always going to go and dip out. And another round going to the side of Boise State. That is an 8-9 scoreline right there. What was a 4-8? Boise State has managed to pull it back piece by piece. They have managed to slowly kind of get back into this game.
Yeah, it's a beautiful comeback, but back into the game is the way to say it. We're still below in both rounds in this map and maps in this game. It's still a boulder to push uphill here. Finding another couple of points and then bringing it together with map 3, which you and I suspect may be a pick from SF.
Yeah, 100%. If it is their pick into game 3, it's even more. It continues to be the uphill battle like you spoke about. It's going to be something that Boise State is going to have a lot of fortitude to get through it.
Speaking of mental fortitude, they're going to take this uphill momentum and go charging into the next round. Boise State taking a lot of damage here, but already putting on the ult. Absolutely cruise them in the side. They're already on the mud, and it is totally empty. Simon Frasier maybe looking for an A-side sweep. Is going to be arriving shortly. Boise State still 4.5 players strong. It's going to drop the Killjoy here to secure the territory they've got and really put everything behind the 300 credit plant they've got here. Kahoo making their way downtown, though. Roriana and J-Bag are both going to find their one.
Wait, that says 4 players detained. That says 4 players
what
detained.
A shutdown. Alden with the BM. Wow, they really went charging into that hole to beat the Killjoy shutdown, but it's not there. The lockdown had it. And Roriana now sweeping up the last couple of players. All of them to find Kahoo. What a play. Boise State playing very high pace there, and Simon Frasier trying to match that energy, but just couldn't reply in time. Bringing it up to a 9-9 with credits in the favor of Boise State.
I do like how they hunted down, that they absolutely hunted down the operator. You cannot let that operator escape or really dive, even when it's that close to. Maybe if it's all the way over on A, you let it go. If it already gets a pick, like, all right, we'll deal with it next round. But I love that hunt down on the operator. And, yeah, the fact they tried to – they really did, because they kind of I believe it was the Sova and the Omen that just kind of, like, Ferrari peeked around Cat and really thought they could get to in time. And Rihanna and J-Bag were able to shut it down, and getting 4 players detained is absolutely insane as well.
Back to a nice solid default style play. We've got kind of a 1 stacked behind each character on either side, as well as 1 holding the spike close in hand. If anybody goes down, it's not a lot of info dropped, but we've seen a lot of this kind of B-sided mid play earlier on, and we've seen it go wrong and we've seen it go right. So just very steady, looking for some clinical style play here as we get some pings down mid, maybe some sight line from one of the defensive players. It's going to be a high dart, just looking for a little bit around the corners. Again, not much info. It's a quiet style round as the attacking Boise State leaves the spike far behind for Omen to pick up. Daimyo catching in. The knife comes out, catches 1 on the suppress. It's Daimyo.
Oh, what a spam. The smoke is going to be able to instantly find it. Even though it's still 11 credits, a little nerfed, it's still worth every bit you put into it. This guy is going to be able to get a refrag. Take out Crown, give them the number advantage as well. Bomb
30
is just
seconds
not
left.
going down, and Sky's going to play a cheeky little angle down.
Yep, Sky's just checking everything out, then making it their own home as they hold out on the hill. We've seen that go wrong before, but we've seen it do beautiful things too if they can get some kind of crossfire. So Sky's going to switch sides and send this crossfire. Daimyo making all the calls, gets a good trade off of it, and they're ready for the drop down. Aldum, just an extra player, does not need to show himself, but goes for it anyways and catches the other side there. A beautiful three-way control crossfire here, but Aldum caught in the knife is going to go down now. Sorry, Stu caught on the knife, finds J-Bag. It's so hard to get over to the spike. Sure enough, not a chance. Sky's looking to make it out of here alive with their 3K and a gun in hand. 10v9, Boise State
Double check it, please.
has made it uphill and surveying what they're ready to take home.
It was the first time in a long time actually gained a sort of foothold. I believe technically you could call the first round the pistol round, being when Boise State officially took back the lead, but then after that it sort of started turning back into SFU favor, and I feel really now more than anything Boise State has regained a lot of the control that they have wanted previously, and they've done that through consistency and perseverance as well.
Yeah, and no tack pauses.
Exactly.
It's been on-the-fly communication. Boise State now feeling good on credits and rounds, but they've got to play together and play hard to keep this edge. They are down in ults, and it probably won't be the difference. We're seeing that ult come out
Lock in sight.
to the TP side. A little bit of a scramble here. People are a lot more split up than they were last round. They're going to be regrouping in mid, looking to make their way through a tree onto a site. Already the smokes here on stairs. Glass. Trying to flash with utility. Not on top. Any off. Bullets.
Spike down.
Utility their entry, but now it's getting heated.
Nowhere to run!
Still being committed. Could find Alden. Yeah, Alden's real. He gets found through the wall, actually. Guys able to get one, but who's there to immediately follow up? Operator. Oh, and Rihanna is just not able to find it anymore, and that's going to be Simon Frasier tying it up at a 10-10 here. Yeah, as much as we love to say, you know, Boise State kind of slowly started making it back and finding the way. Simon Fraser is still a very competitive team, and actually there it is. There's that no tech pause we were talking about, but there's actually something I like to see as well. I feel timeouts are a key part to sort of a team's mental and motivation and timing they can sort of find as well.
Yeah, and this is a good place to put it. If we were going to put it somewhere, I mean, earlier on we saw definitely some momentum problems, but now the momentum has switched, and this is, you know, the foothold that they don't want to lose. The 10v10 has come upon them, and they'd love to really take this home. Here's the audience that we've got in tonight watching this play. SF University playing against Boise State here in the NECC. Players on deck doing well, enjoying this tack pause.
You know, they can be a little more entertaining, and it's definitely what to look out for them to do. Love to see the arena full of people. Love to have a little bit of energy. What a better crowd to have in the arena than the youngins that are inevitably the future of us all. Getting right back into it. A 10-10 scoreline. It's a close one.
It's a close one, and look at these ultimates close as well. And that ultimate was honestly the deciding factor of the last round, as we saw the Sova just play straight into the default like you knew it was going to be there. I don't think we had any eyesight onto where that plant was, but predictability is a lot of Simon Fraser's play.
I think it was front side Jenny. I think it was like default.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely put a guess there, but it worked out for them in their favor. Reround and finding the head of Mateo.
Go down now, making his way over to the door, trying to lock the place in. We don't have anybody in tree. All of these darts coming out there, so worried about Raps hiding in the smoke. Killjoy coming down from the enemy through the walls. He doesn't have any bear spots on site. They've got to evacuate, but the look at the plan ahead of time is not going to be there. Aldum takes one, but he's being under fired, and now the spike is sitting in the middle of the map. The win con has changed. They have to get out there. J-Bag and Code detained, and he's still in hell. He can't last. At least they were nice enough to not knife him.
Maybe like to see Daimyo with the rush out, realizing that J-Bag was sort of the last one there. And I wonder, I'm not sure if Oddman decommitted from the Sobo, or if the knife that was committed by the KO stopped it. Oh, okay, here's the single challenge. Do they stop it? No, they don't. They're able to get out, but also a re-hit.
Oh, yeah.
30 seconds left.
Rariana with an early rehit. No, gives a little bit of away as he plays too fast, and now they can't rehit. They've got to get out of there, but maybe that's the gimmick because Daimyo didn't really catch up to him, so now they're going to be making the rotate to mid to B side, and it would not be surprised if he wants to jump across. He's not even going to risk it with this angle. A second jump. He doesn't want to see anybody, but it was too close. The second jump was too close to the outro, and Kane is going to find him now. The win cost changes again. He's got to get out there, but they've got him on the timing. Kane just shuts it down. A beautiful understanding of the map and typical pathing. Finds Rariana on his way to short peek that corner, and Simon Frasier finds point 11. Boise State would love to find this a tie, right? As we get up into the double digits, the game kind of changes a little bit because there's a last round, but if you can bring it to this 11-11 situation, then over time it starts to become this hindering cloud behind you, and you don't want to be playing on a map like this all night. So Boise State needs to get a clean 3 points here in order to walk out with, you know, a non-overtime win. But Simon Frasier only needs 2 more.
The win condition always kind of stays the same. They're able to get past this one-way here. One-way sort of block the high advantage as well. This guy's going to go in, clear the right side, and just sit and smoke a little bit. KO's going to find one on Altman. That's good. He didn't smoke, not find anything. That's slowly damaging J-Bag. Sort of just spamming. Nobody was shooting at it.
Yeah, and Skies was able to create an outpost very fast, but it was a risky play that didn't play off very much. So now they're hoping to use this outpost to find someone just playing low, gets caught by just the corner of the paranoia. Echuka, Kane, and Kuka again are each able to find one. Boise State with 1 player left, caught, and the smoke is going to go down, and I think it was just a little bit overextended there. Boise State just went charging in, trying to get something early, trying to get an early advantage on that round, and it just quite wasn't there. South Frasier going to take point 2.
Now, here's the really difficult part of it all because, Boise State's just going to pour everything they possibly can into it. Every last credit they can possibly squeeze out because Simon Frasier's in this sort of comfortable spot. They're in a 3-round winning streak. They're not hurt for any eco. They have KO ultimate as well. I'd be curious to see how close we are in terms of point-wise. In terms of okay, so we're 1 point away. So actually, I could probably see us playing orb-wise for re-rounds ulti, because that could be the sole factor into giving us a lot of room and a lot of position into a site right now.
A little bit of an orb train to try to get it, but they are expecting this big A push, and Simon Frasier is willing to put everything into it themselves.
Going to be advantageous or de-advantageous for Boise to take this fight.
That one way to drop, but the timing is good, and they're already throwing other things out. Ariana giving up a little bit of information to find some of their own. That Swamp Grenade, and we're going to see the owl come around. Another flavor of the dog of the Trailblazer from the sky we talked about earlier. They're going to play a lot more clinically here. Boise State can't take a mistake, so a big risky play like we saw last turn, just grasping for something real Hail Mary play just isn't going to work.
They did give the old point to J-Bag instead, which means they're 1 away from the old point. Hail Knife is going to find Daimyo sitting in this corner here. They don't know exactly where they could clear it. They could expect Daimyo moved out of it. Walking up Cat here, clearing all the angles. Clearing up short, trying to take this tree, trying to take this tree fight right here. Daimyo's going to throw it on his teammate. They're going to find one. They have a lot of info now. It's only 24 seconds left. Bring a little bit anti-flash. Smoke is going to find a timing on Kane. That's the number of advantages going inside of Boise State. Ultimate's going to go down as well. No, it's not. It's actually going to be fake. Number of advantages going to go down as well. They got to secure the round. They got to make sure they keep pushing through. They know where Stu is. They get Stu. Now it's just a 4v1 with an operator. That's all that stands in their way. To take these fights correctly, there's simply no way to lose. The alarm bot's going to go down, and they're going to try and box in Slash Jet.
Yeah, 0 players detained. Got to be careful with this one, Rayana. Just doing a little circumference. They're looking good so far. They've just got to wait this one out. I'm sure the op is saved for next round. No.
Wow, gets an exit frag out of it too. You can see the team scrambling now, trying to get a flank, trying to get some type of positioning out here. Once again, you kind of you want to make them hurt here. They are going to lose the round, and more than likely you're trying to exit frag out to get this op out of the way. if at all possible, but it looks like now it's not going to be able to. It's just going to have to be something you have to deal with going into the next round. We do have J-Bag's ult as well. We do have the shutdown, which can be big for opening a lot of sites, as I believe they don't have a lot of ultimates to their advantage as well. And at this point, gun advantage is here as well. So if Boise State takes this round, it's for sure going into OT, which from there you have to win for 2 more rounds. But of course, Boise State has to win in order to push into the OT here, very end.
Finding one in the knife on A short. Boise State playing very together and watching this mid area. Looking to play up just a little bit, but some action through the walls. It's going to catch J-Bag off guard. Smoke mid just enough to make a rotation. And Boise State out pivoting the play through tree and long on A. And this ult is going to be the countdown. Fox synchronize and they come flying in. Boise State grab this last win with the bow, trying to shut them down by 1 kill. And they get it. 12-12 to start playing on fairer ground.
By 1, the op shot almost nearly hits J-Bag, probably just enough to knock him out.
But not enough to prevent him from using that knife. Gets a fast suppress onto 2, and he's going to turn a blind eye to it, trusting his guys. Watching from above, turn up, he finds both. What trigger discipline? What spray control? Wow. He's going to find 2 of them, and although one goes down to Crown in the last second, Boise State secures the 12-12, looking at some overtime here to bring it to a 1-1 on the map and play a 3rd round. Can they do it?
Wow, absolutely beautiful spray transfer right here. Yeah, this suppress right here sort of forces them to take a second back, forces them to recollect their thoughts right here, and unfortunately for us, it pays out really big for Skies right here, finding 2, and then also getting 2 more in the back as they enter out through the back of sight. And yeah, it's just played beautifully. The paranoia is played for the back of Jenny, and it's absolutely denied.
Need a drop.
Beautiful round committed there by Boise State. But now it's OT. The nerves are higher than ever. Now it's sort of a thing. You're in match point. You know, you can't really. You don't want to lose this map. You don't want to. You don't want to lose. You don't want to lose the whole thing of it. So you got to play these. You got to win by 2.
It's true, yeah. In for a penny, in for a pound. But now the cred situation is a little bit more public, and they love to secure this one out. Boise State dumping all of their util, all of their static style util onto A, as well as a knife committed, and it's playing very backseat. Skies being forward, but everybody else just kind of holding position, waiting for Simon Frasier to make the first move. Rariana, short angle here on Heaven, and Daimyo doing just the same.
I also love seeing Skies take such an aggressive position. Yep, the alarm bot goes off, all the information goes there, the second smoke, and an immediate rotation by the entirety of everybody. He's still locked down. So you get a little bit of information where they probably are.
Spike planted.
You can feel things getting sticky. You can feel just the tiredness of the round taking its toll, as we don't see any more jiggle peaks. It's all static style gameplay, just trying to save every ounce. Simon Frasier making their way onto site, all little bit of damage on Rariana, but other than that, nothing to show. Really not quite finding his plays the lob a little bit short. The TP is going to get them across for a little bit of a crossfire, but Skies with the op low on the health. He's got to be careful the way they play this, and look at this pacing. No double peaks, means slow by slow, 1-for-1s, just dropping players. And Skies, the last one alive, is going to have a tough play here, and it's not quite going to happen.
29 HP, peeking into the triple peak as well, as long as one person out of screen just spam that corner part looking for it, and on 29 HP as well.
It's a tough one with the ADS too, because you can't, you don't want to dry fire the op at 3 people, but you also don't want to be peeking with, you know, a quarter-sized, you know, zone of control in your vision there. So it's a tough battle to fight, and there's no reason to save.
No, yeah, absolutely no reason to save. You're just sort of looking for the KDA booster there, especially as the bomb was getting low on time there. It was going to be a near impossible play, but Boise State's not completely out of it at all. They still got 1 more round to go.
Yeah, we can't say they did have a little bit of a dynamic toolkit on that last one, what with pulling an LMG as well as an op. Here, they're just playing good, clean Valorant. Boise State playing nice and quiet in a pack together with 1 controller left to watch the back sights just in case something fishy comes around. Boise State playing very slow, waiting again for Simon Frasier to make the move. That smoke's going to come out, and they take that. Walking into this area, unfortunately, the knife is going to find them, and it's just utility after utility. Boise State now a little bit on the back foot here. Daimyo, who was a lurker, is now spearheading the pack as people kind of pushed out of garage, looking for a little bit of a re-hit, but Cahoe is going to find one straggler.
A little bit of audio fake. Trying to play anybody into it. Rihanna here pushing up into mid pretty confidently, gets jump peaked. Expecting somebody's going to come out from a flanking angle. Smoke is going to be put down by Daimyo, giving a little bit of cover
30
here.
seconds left.
Paranoia making the boat out. Leave it one, try a little bit of flash. Ottoman is going to get one on Stu though. They know the KO is down here in sight though.
Yeah, J-Bag makes their jump into the mud, and they're going to have a player to help them, looking to clear things out and send a knife on to the backside entry. And out with the default. Aldum doing well to protect his turf.
Last player standing.
Oh, but he just can't hold it all the way. Rariana, last one alive, knows exactly what the spike is, and is able to find Crown by surprise. A beautiful another round, bringing us to double overtime.
Switching sides.
Yeah, it's as this
Overtime.
round builds up, it's more than anything as the momentum builds higher and higher.
We have some
A little bit of replays here. The trades are clean. Everything went through. Yeah, just like you said at the beginning of the game. Good, clean balance. That's all I really take today. No crowns there. Yeah, just beautiful, easy pick.
Yep. Just Kovacs at this point. I mean, they've all just got the rifles out. They're doing things as they ought. The trades are here. Good tracing. But they got to keep going. Boise State now.
Ooh. No Odin this time from Outlet.
No?
Right here.
Here.
A little bit of info on it. Make some call system pings. Not entirely 100% sure where Simon Frasier's still going. Still have Rihanna and J-Bag. Side, Daimyo's playing flex into the mid. We see a dash. He's gonna find one. Sky's getting free. Wow.
What a conveyor belt. They just walked right towards him. Finally, they're going to shut him down, but that brings us to a 3v2, which, you know, takes care of a little bit of the underplay that he got from playing a little bit timid. He had him in the crosshair earlier. He couldn't capitalize on it, but Sky just back up, and look at this. Coming around for some beautiful kills. Daimyo playing where he does most comfortably in the boathouse. Going to be walking down that southern side with J-Bag. Looking for this final player.
Cover going up.
Try a little bit. Oh, he's gonna find it. Shot through the wall there. Had the prediction. Had it right. And that's Boise State going up one in this OT. They need one more. And that was purely what felt sort of desperate in the beginning of like, oh, we down kind of numbers, and then there's Sky just getting this absolute, I love the term, sort of conveyor belt. It's just like this, I don't even know if I could really call it a spray transfer, more just like the spam that ends up finding 3 different heads, and it's absolutely insane. It, more than anything, is that demoralizing for other players as well.
I mean, but look at this. Skies may have a little bit of cover, but it's like hiding behind cardboard. I mean, look at how fast that just gets peppered. So the other people back off, but he just spray and prays it and is able to find 3 before they finally figure out what's going on and are able to get him right around the corner. Skies now feeling hot. He's going to be the head of this next operation, getting ready that dash, looking to fly right in. These guys love playing these high mobility, high-paced rounds whenever they can. Look at all this vision denial. I mean, and then just absolute sweep clearing the site with that LMG Kane playing like a scalpel is going to take 2 out on his slow march to B, while Alden puppy guarding the spike.
I cannot use that.
In position as a 5 stack. Simon Frasier most likely knows the majority of Boise State, if not all of them, are in this backside. It's who's going to find a pick onto J-Bag. Now it's down to a 2v5. Will the Odin be able to pull out the clutch they're looking for? The Paranoia is going to get one. This guy's not Paranoia. Flash, waiting for the timing, does get it. Blind fire op shot is going to find any value out as well. And this spam out the middle. They're going to find Kane. Kane's going to find Skies and get Ottoman the secondary to boot. And now to 14-14. Undoubtedly going into a triple overtime.
Yeah, so many of these kills have been caught on pure experience, just comfort with the game itself, playing through the smokes and finding these timings and understanding what the right rotations are. Another 2 downs on Boise State. You know, did nothing wrong, just Simon Frasier holding strong on that utility and just swarming the situation. And it's tough being caught back there in boat when you're playing against a full kit.
Trying to keep any little bit of advantage on this gunfight they can.
Rariana just trying to slow down pushes here, playing that intimidate. Not necessarily looking for kills, but just looking to make sure none come on their side. Starting to commit a little bit more of that pack. It's a good thing because we already hear the utility coming out from the other side. Boise State playing very back seat here. We don't see anyone chomping the final at the very front gates.
Placing swamp grenade.
Ariana still feeling the pressure enough that they want to keep committing utility here. Admittedly, there is a smoke up. It's going to be settling somewhere a little bit more permanent. Back in hell. Trying to stay dynamic. Just waiting for some kind of a push now. It's been unclear as to whether it's a re-hit, whether it's a switch. So Boise State kind of shakes back out into more of a default setup. See these rotations around, just trying to stay fresh. Trying to gauge what exactly SF plots. As Rariana's timer
30
ticks
seconds
down,
left.
the reposition on the turret becomes available, but the alarm bot is triggered.
Alright, also committed there. Paranoid trying to find the timing on it. Cameo. Gonna get Cameo in 2B. Crown's one on Rihanna's Dreybag. Want to do only 10 seconds up. The spike has got to go down here. It is going to go down. Dreybag going for the lineup here. He's going to be able to find it. Also has Dart available. Flash the tree and is going to get it really swung by Kane.
Yeah, that makes Aldem's position a little bit difficult. You can feel the pinch coming in. The desperation is serious. He's got to find somewhere safe to stay. He's looking to peek some people out. What a good timing. He's going to find one because of it. A great little click. And he's going for it. Just trying to scare people out of the corners. J-Bag is the one to watch his back. Oh, it's not enough. Kane goes flying in and catches 2 more kills.
So you're telling me Kane
Switching sides.
got Skies and Tree went all the way around, back through Cat, back to Spawn. That's quite the commitment there, and that is quite the timing because they got the pick. I was honestly expecting Heaven, and I think Alderman was expecting Heaven as well because when they got the last pick and their immediate look was Heaven as well.
Yeah, that was the direction. I mean, but he knew J-Bag came down from that direction after he got Juka, so it's a tough turnaround there. But I mean, they were just lined up. So a beautiful 4K bringing it up. Simon Frasier up a point at Boise State is going to have to hope to find a point and then win in quadruple overtime. What an epic saga. I mean, this is looking difficult. They had the advantage, you know, last overtime, but now back to playing uphill.
Offense is where we started making the comeback, though. So I believe we feel a little more strong suited on our offense capability as well. It's definitely where we've had the most clutch situations happen as well for us. Making a movement, all but 4, or all but 1. I'm sorry, I'm making a commitment over to A.
Technically, all but 4 are going to be.
All but 4, yeah, are going to be.
Aldem looking to make some chaos here, throwing the owl straight in. Not enough that he's willing to commit himself in his beautiful knife, but starts making the rotation across mid. Just trying to have some cover here on the tree. The tree exits across Cat and Skies playing the way they are most comfortable. Just dashing from Cloudburst to Cloudburst.
30 seconds left.
Checking all the typical corners, cleaning out Hell, and making sure Heaven isn't too advanced on as an early plant comes out. All 5 players of Boise State, well, the 4 that are left alive.
The plant is down. Tail lineup. KO. Almost finding the spamming smoke. Isn't able to get the second though. Now it's up to Skies. Inside of Hell. Can face a 1v4. Cannot do it. Escahoon's gonna get the final pick. Getting a 3-piece in this final round. And it's going to be Simon
Defenders
Fraser
win.
taking it. What a legendary final game that ended up being another Simon Fraser sort of advantage run that they got, but then inevitably Boise State kind of pulls it back and forces an overtime round as well, doing that twice basically, kind of just like on this sort of catch up, but nevertheless does it, making Simon Fraser definitely work for Ascent. So it really does make me more than anything curious what the map selection was, because that's the only piece of information I think you and me are out on.
Yeah, going down in triple overtime like that.
Yeah, it's insane and well far hot. The Iron Shooting Guard is the proud supporter of the Boise State Esports. Top players are presented by Iron Shooting Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills in real time with more than 10 jobs, offering a 20K bonus and the degree of your choice paid for. The Iron Shooting Guard is the best team out there. Reach out to them at on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. What a matchup, honestly. Just to go that far and to keep pushing it. And while the first map may have not been the most successful in terms of catching that W, but nevertheless finding the fight to get back into it more than anything, and facing Simon Fraser as well going into CEC. Wow, English.
Yeah.
No, more than anything, while we would love to walk away with the win, more than anything, a really good fight from the side of BSU.
Definitely, and we saw a lot of dynamic change here as we just honestly got squashed in the first map, but we were able to find darn near a tie in the second one. We can only think what would have happened in map 3.
And they played really well on Haven as well. Sometimes I look at our team and I see like, wow, we played really well on Haven, but I see that Simon Fraser team as well played on Haven. They not only did they have momentum, they had the economy, they had the playstyle, they had the confidence, they had everything rolling for them in that map. So more than anything, that map definitely goes out to them because they just played that so well, and more than anything. But getting into the conversation of player of the game, I feel like out of clutch potential, J-Bag and Skies are definitely on the map for it and probably are my top contenders in terms of, for me, I'm probably going to pick J-Bag just because J-Bag had the most critical moments in terms of getting 2-3 pieces that I can like frame in memory to stay there and be more important map choices.
Definitely. Like I said, the anchor of the relay. Let's see who we got here. I was going to give it to Roriana if I could, but Daimyo the Viper is out here.
A classy Viper.
It is.
With the bow tie and everything. But anything, Daimyo essentially, and these pixel peaks is more than anything. These finally, I think it was twice. It was once in Haven and I think once in Ascent that we can remember that are just like, you got that shot, sort of, especially with the flick as well.
Comfortable in strange places, definitely IGL material here. Yeah, knows exactly how long the mouse pad is. Just so good with every single pixel on screen.
Yeah,
some fly shots.
That one.
What a
We're both like, what?
What a duel, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely shocking though.
Yes, Daimyo, the college-educated Viper, you are the ICCU player of the game.
The player of the game is brought to you by the Auto Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful. Just like Auto Central's helping members achieve financial success, Daimyo is your Auto Central Credit Union player of the game. Get right into it before we wrap up the show here tonight. Do we have, or more or less, do you have anything to finish up out with before we close out everything and go to top 5?
I think you never know. You don't know till you know.
Yeah.
It's not over till it's over. Even though you had like a first rough map, if you can play strong in the second one, it can still be yours. So,
yeah, 100%. No, I agree more than I think. Perseverance is a
virtue.
Virtue, yeah, that's the word I was going to. Oh, this is fortune for some weird reason. Like I was like, that doesn't make sense. I'm looking for the right word, but nevertheless, we are going to end out on the top 5 plays of the game, which are presented to you by the Iron Shooting Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills in real time with more than 10 jobs, offering a 20K bonus and a degree of your choice paid for by the Iron Shooting Guard. Go ahead and reach out to them at Twitch at iGuard Gaming. As we close out here, a beautiful casting move here tonight. We're looking to catch another W tomorrow. See you later tonight. Enjoy the top 5s.
Got an offer that's just itching and chomping at the bit, loving to put on there. I've seen that on the jet. It's scary, but now they're going to walk back, grab it, start making some space. This guy takes out Kane. Setting up maybe a plan B.
Really from the perspective of
right, we've already seen a way downtown, though. Roriana and J-Bag are both going to find their one.
Wait, that says 4
Down
players in
3.
paint. That says 4 players
What
in
a
paint.
shutdown. Alden with the BM. Wow, they really went charging into that low